Next up, Peter John Ross will host a roundtable discussion about the science fiction web series Aen Five.
Aen Five is an amazing science fiction series from director John Jackson, producer Ben Bays, and editor Tim Baldwin, who I sat down with for the roundtable. Let's take a look at Aen Five. Tell me the story of where did Aen Five start?
I think it's the 48-hour film festival. I wanted to get involved in 48-hour film festival, and it got a hold of you, and I said, "Do you want to do this?" And you were like, "Yeah, let's do it." And I think you just took the ball and got the registration and everything.
Yeah, we had both talked about possibly. We had heard about it. I know for me, I just hadn't been challenged lately. I've been working professionally there, but you have clients, you got budgets, you got deadlines. And I'm like, I just want to be challenged.
It's not the same creativity, is it?
Yeah. Well,
so just run down basically what is the 48-hour film project?
It's Friday night, 7 o'clock. You get the genre,
line of dialogue,
character, and a prop.
All randomly
select,
drawn.
Well, the genres.
Yeah, that's true.
And the other ones, and then.
You
got 48 hours to make a movie.
So you deliver it, finished.
Yeah. 5 to 7 minutes long. So.
Yeah. So you guys got the idea to do Aen Five.
We drew. I picked science fiction out of the hat, which
lucked out because Johnny was very adamant of shooting everything on green screen, no matter what we would have gotten. So which I was like, what if we get romantic comedy?
It's going on green screen.
It's going on green screen because I don't want to drive all over town or do anything. I'm like, but then we got sci-fi and it just. I'm like, all right, cool.
I threw out some caveats I knew I didn't want to do. I didn't want to do aliens. I didn't want to do. There was a couple other things I just thought flat out. Sci-fi, no ray guns, no aliens, no. I think clones was even one of those, and then we caved on that. Okay, let's do clones.
Because we thought, how cool would it be if we could actually have, do different.
Yeah,
it was
make use of the green screen.
Yeah, make use of the green screen. We could have 5 of them. We could have 10 of them.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say. We spent so much time that night developing the world before we really attacked the script too. So it was like, all right, there can only be 5 of them. Why? I don't know. There's at this moment we tried to make a reason for everything. And
it took more time eliminating what we didn't want to do, and then once we landed on that came together. And no lie, we probably had an hour of script writing. Now there was 3 hours or so before that of literally eliminating what we didn't want to do and saying, how can this work? And it's like, it's all hand drawn, and I just kept trying to let's not let that constrain us. We'll write as big as we can, and then we'll.
Because we had Ben Brown, the artist, and he's an amazing artist, and for some reason we're just like, he can draw the background, and then we go, oh my God, is it going to be Sin City? Is it?
Yeah.
But that's the thing is you chose black and white. What was the reason for choosing black and white? Because you also shingled not only was it science fiction, you kind of hung kind of a noir style onto the movie.
That was I'm a noir fan. That was always in the back of my head, and whatever I drew out of that, I was probably going to have a noir flavor. Again, if we had musical, I would have done something slanted towards that. So I thought the drawings worked well. It helped. I knew it was going to help us in that time frame to compile all that. So I was just very conscious of that. Like, man, we go black and white, it can be grainy. Basically we can get away with some low-tech visual effects is what I was thinking, just to hide it.
The timing was the most.
Yeah.
I mean, you won both an audience award and then the judges award, I think. So
we won. Well, most of the technical. You mean the Columbus ones?
Yeah.
All the technical. We mostly got all the technical ones. Yeah.
And you won the big one.
And we won the big one, and then he
Miami.
went Miami to the Filmapalooza, and
so what
third,
that is?
Right?
So when they had the best of each city, all competed against each other. How did you do with that then?
Third place.
Overall.
At the Miami Film Festival.
It was Paris, London,
and then
Columbus, Ohio.
That was
good.
good.
Showed them at the Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah.
And Johnny went.
I know. I wish I could take everybody with me. I went by myself to.
So how did you go from the 48-hour film product short into the idea of expanding it into a web series?
Oh boy!
Well, Well, I saw the film, like you did. I had been hearing about it. Johnny and those guys were doing. I heard he's doing a green screen project, and so I went that night to sit down and watch it, and like everybody else, was blown away by how amazing the production was, and couldn't believe they had done it in 48 hours. And so afterwards, I ended up getting together with Johnny and just saying, man, it's such a great accomplishment, but on top of that, it's such a great world that you guys created. And I wanted to know more about the world. I wanted to know more about the characters. I wanted to know more about the storyline. Why was the assassin, doing what he was doing? What were the players involved? And I said, we have got to turn this into a television or a web series. We'd actually developed a TV series before together, and I had such a blast doing that. I said, we got to do something with this because there's so much potential for it. So we talked about what this series would look like, and how could we do it in a way that it was built off the 48-hour model, where we didn't have to spend any money, where we didn't have to, turn this into this massive production, do it from a lo-fi standpoint, but make something unique and make a
But still keep the quality up.
Yeah, as much as you can when you're doing something. On a pro bono basis.
Didn't you model kind of your infrastructure for this web series more on like a television series would be?
Yeah, absolutely. And in so many ways, Aen Five, really when you're doing something like a serial story, so much of it is so much of the story arc is important. And so we really approached it from a story perspective. One of the things we said very early on was that the visual style is really cool, and that's the hook that's going to get people there, but it's the story and the characters that are going to keep them there. And so we really wanted that early on to be the focus and the driving force behind the series. Because if we weren't interested in watching it, if it didn't get us excited, then why would it get our audience excited? So, and we it was like midnight, and we pitched the idea and drew out the story arc on a whiteboard, and I think that's when we all kind of started seeing it take shape, and then spent pretty much the next 9 months as we even into shooting, we were still writing scripts and revising scripts, and everybody really on the team. That's when it really started to take shape, because we had a structure to the series as a whole, but it was really when everybody, the writers, came together and started putting flesh on it and giving the characters lives and really honing out the specifics of each episode. It really started to.
So tell me about what your role was on the web series as opposed to the original short. Like, what was your role then?
Producer, director, writer, craft service, audio, grip. I mean, literally, it was every role. I mean, I suppose the top few. I still directed them and produced them.
And your role in the web series is you worked as a writer and also as an editor.
Yeah, writer and editor. So.
Those were very long months in the time that before we started shooting, and there was a lot of things. And I really do think it was a group effort. It was a team effort, and in the same way, the production was a team effort. At no point during any of this process could we have done 15 episodes without everybody showing up. And that's really the thing about this project that kind of surprised us and was a real inspiration, I think, to the local filmmaking community, was how many people showed up for no pay on their Saturdays and their weekends, for no money, for 19, 20-hour shoot days
is what we were doing.
And to see that kind of dedication with an entire crew of people who came and were there consistently every time we went out and shot. I think we tried to shoot one weekend every 3 weeks, for the better part of the year. There were always people there helping out, and that's.
I'd always be amazed at, I'm very conscious of all those people that are on there, and it's why we're pushing, to finish the show and just to do right by everyone who volunteered. I'd always be amazed because people are just like would come up to you. God, oh, thank you so much. I'm like, are you kidding? You've been standing here for 18 hours. I'm like, what do you should be killing me, you know? Now take this and show it. You take it wherever you want. It's yours. You know, you were part of this. If it gets you any other job, whatever you can do with it, and be paid for it, that's what I want to do. So, yeah.
And that's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Dino Tripodis. We'll see you next time on Framelines.